Okay, so the first hall, we're going to write an equation that shows how much it costs. We're trying to figure out what the cost is equal to. So for family stone hall, how much does it cost? You send 200 plus what? Yeah? 16, that's the equation. The cost is equal to 200 plus $16, that's it? It's $16 per guest. So what am I missing? G, X, I'll put an X, okay? Actually, they told you to put a G, right? Okay, it's $16 per guest, but you have to pay a flat fee of $200 for the second hall. How much is it? The memory hall, $100 plus. Okay, so we're trying to figure out which hall should this person rent? Well, it depends on the number of guests, right? So let's figure out at what point, okay, so we're trying to figure out the point of intersection. Will both halls have the same number of guests and the same cost? At what point will their cost be exactly the same for the same number of guests? So let's solve this. So you have your two equations. Equation 1, C equals 200 plus 16G. And you have equation 2, C equals 100 plus 20G. What's the first step in solving by substitution? Isolate a variable. Is the variable already isolated? Yes. So C is equal to this. Can you take that and replace it with C? Everyone do that right now. Replace C with this, because the variable is already isolated. So instead of writing C, I'm going to write what? 200 plus 16G equals 100 plus 20G. C. 16G, the positive 20. If I bring it to the other side, it becomes negative 20. Then I have the 100 on the right side. This positive 200 becomes, okay, what's 16 take away 20? Negative 4. What's 100 take away 200? Negative 100. Divide both sides. G equals 25. So that means for 25 guests, their costs will be the same. We have to figure out what is the cost going to be. So we're going to replace G with 25. For 25 guests, what's the cost? Plug it in and tell me the cost. So we're going to choose one. You don't have to choose both equations. Pick one because it's the same for both. So what is the cost if they have 25 guests? 600? And was it true for this one as well? You might as well just figure it out. The cost is 600. The point of intersection was, what was the guess? 25? 600. So if they had 25 guests, the cost would be exactly the same. But if you graph this, what happens if they have more than 25 guests? Which one is cheaper? The cost is only the same for 25 guests. Once you have more or less guests, one of them's a better deal. Which one? So if we have more than 25 guests, so let's pick a number that's more than 25. Let's do 30. If we have 30 guests, which one's cheaper? Which hall is cheaper, the family stone hall or the memory hall? For 30 guests. What's the cost for family stone hall? What's 16 times 30? Plus 200. What is it? Yeah. 680. What's 20 times 30 plus 100? Yes, 700. So more than 30, oops, not 30, more than 25 guests, right? Because if it was just 25 guests, they cost exactly the same. But if they have more than 25 guests, which hall is cheaper? Family stone hall, which is this one. If they have less than 25 guests, then memory hall is cheaper, okay?